the 7th, February 7th.
Very good, very good. Well, look, Jimmy, we're up and running, are we?
We are up and running.
There we are. I see Jared there, Claire's on, Cormac. Thanks for anyone that's popped on. You know, we love these Friday afternoon here in Ireland coffee chats. I know it's 10 a.m. Somewhere else, and with everything going on, it's always good to keep a bit of positivity. It's Friday, coming into the weekend. Where I'm sitting, we've a couple of more hours left. I know it's end of month as well, but definitely want to give a shout out to Charlie Tomeo. Charlie, we were chatting a couple of weeks ago, and we thought it was good to connect and say hello. And I don't want to embarrass you now, Charlie. Definitely don't want to embarrass you.
Okay.
But a birdie told me that you're the 5-time CRN channel chief. I don't know what that means. But
I don't know. You know what? If you could figure it out, definitely help me out with it. But
yeah. If we can say it 3 times quick, I'll be impressed. But look, no, really want to thank you, Charlie. It's much appreciated you popping on and saying hello. And in all sincerity, you've I know you've ran global channels, you know, in Asia Pac and Europe and the US now in various different roles, and it's just always good to get, you know, someone like yourself, Charlie, your expertise and your opinion on different things, and you know, on particularly the state of the market as we look into 2021 and all of that piece. But look, for anyone that doesn't know you, Charlie, it'd be great if you wouldn't mind just a little bit around yourself and starting with your background there. I think it's the best one yet.
Yeah, sure. I mean, well, you know, up until I guess this time last year, it probably was I was in Dublin. I don't know, at least a half dozen times a year. So that was the last time we had a proper pint of Guinness. So I figured, being your location, JP, you know, I figured I'd honor that, and would love to have had an Irish coffee. It's just not the same. So you know, making it home and trying to put whipped cream in it just wasn't going to do it justice. So
no.
Up to the espresso. But yeah, I've been doing this a while. I've been very blessed. You know, the channel has been very good to me. So you know, the awards really are. You know, I wouldn't say there's something that I accomplished. I accomplished is with the team that I had. I had just an unbelievable team at Webroot. In the years there, and then you know, I spent almost 16 years there in different roles, but always very focused on the channel. And you know, recently have joined Axient as the CRO. So you know, again, it was a nice fit for me because you know, David Bennett is the CEO. I worked for him for a number of years, and then you know, the fact that they are a MSP focused. I mean, you know, couldn't be more thankful. Without the MSPs, I wouldn't have been able to, and the team wouldn't have been able to get even 10% of the success we had. So
look, you know, we might have some MSPs on the line and tuning in and all of that. What I'm interested in, Charlie, you're in a sort of unique spot because you've visibility in different markets. So, you know, whether you're in the UK or in Ireland, you know, the US, Australia, what are the common themes that you have seen, Charlie? I'm just wondering, and when you look back over a 5-year, even 10-year time horizon, and we have break fix IT that you know, sort of matured into that MSP space, and you know, what's happened over the last couple of years, and then, you know, as we look into this year, what are the big challenges, and be interesting to get your opinion on that one, the common themes across the regions.
Yeah, I would definitely say, you know, I always looked at it as, you know, like different evolutions of like where the channel was, even when, you know, for our business, right, and what phase they were at. Certainly, you know, we kind of use the 80-20 rule where, you know, we tried to use you know, 80% across the 3 different geos would be consistent, and 20% would be a bit different. But it was really interesting for me to see how fast, especially in the UK and Ireland, how fast we went from this very, you know, rigid, here's how the channel works. And, you know, if you don't work that way, you're out of luck. And I will tell you, you know, when I took over, I think I was named the VP of channel like over the Christmas and New Year's break at the time, and he said, "Hey, we're going to make you the VP of channel." I was running the SE team at the time, and I said, "Well, I appreciate the confidence, but it's not something I've done before." And they said, "Well, what would you do?" And I said, "Well, the first thing I'd try to do is not make the mistakes everyone else has made."
Yeah.
But they, put me in that role, and I think I was over in the end of January. I flew over to London, landed, and there was this big article in CRN about how I broke the channel at WebRoot, and I'm like, I just got the job 2 weeks ago. I don't know how. This is fantastic how quick that I did this, but it was interesting to see how, especially with companies like Scout and even Axient, how the channel itself is involved. And I'd say most of that has been driven by the adoption of the MSP space, where, you look at, we look at the, kind of the pure player, the holy grail of like big MSPs of where you may want to get to. But a lot of these MSPs are still hybrids, and they're kind of doing a bit of everything to make sure that they give the best service to their end customers. And so the channel itself has had to evolve. Like you see all of a sudden, we have a bunch of these, cloud-based, service providers. And, you look at, even distribution, I think, just making it, the biggest thing I would say is, as vendors, and certainly as a channel, we've had to become easier to do business with.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's consistent, I think, across the board. But it is interesting. Like even, we had, I've distributed in Italy. ACAB was one that was great, that they educated the Italian market of what an MSP is.
Yeah.
So it was just watching that evolution over the past, 5-10 years with them, and going on that journey with them was interesting to see. And if you go look on, their website, it's every big vendor that's made it in the MSP space, and it's focused on it. That's who they focus on.
For someone that's I'm sure you've spent some time in the air and traveling around and meeting people. What's COVID been like for you, Charlie? Obviously we're all sitting at home, and like how have you felt it's gone for you over the last few months?
Well, I think personally, it's kind of like a honeymoon again. I don't think my wife's seen me this much in the past 10 years. I think she keeps on putting the bag packed by the door for me. I don't know if that's a sign or something, but no, I think it's, it's just changed the way that we connect with one another. I think certainly in the channel, the one thing that helped me was really getting out and meeting people face to face and building that trust, which I think we've had to adjust a bit. Especially me taking on a new role was a bit different, especially after being in a company for 16 years, then moving in the middle of this. But I think it's certainly I know with the team at Axient, it's given us the ability to pause for a moment, and a moment in our case is probably hours, right? And just look at what do we really need to be doing differently to really help our partners be more successful.
Yeah, well, like if you double click on that a little bit just for a second, and others might jump in a minute, but the way we see it as well, we're in that sort of fourth industrial revolution, and we have things like cloud adoption and increase in data, digitization of everything, and compliance and privacy, and then agility and speed. All of these issues, trends, problems that MSPs are trying to deal with, and throw in automation and legacy systems. It's complex, and it's all happening at the same time. And COVID is accelerated some of those, security being one of the, probably issues that fall out of it. With Axient, like where do you come in all of that piece, Charlie? And like, how is it that it's affected you guys?
Well, it's definitely affected us, where we see, our partners are looking to now protect data that they don't know where it is half the time. Right. So, everyone's looking at, bringing their own device, whether they intentionally wanted to or not. They're working from home. So it's just making sure that, what we offer is, kind of a full platform that could cover what today looks like, right? And I think we all can agree that the work from anywhere is not a temporary thing, right? It's going to be, that's going to be part of the business that we need to protect. I also think that, we looked at one of the things that I think we all missed, which is everybody dependent on, as you travel the world and even, in the US, you see certain people are, depending on where you are. If you're in Florida, you're kind of used to, hey, we're going to get hurricanes, or we're going to prepare for things like that. And so make sure that we have the proper uptime for our customers. But no one had a disaster recovery plan for the world shutting down and everyone staying at home. And it's just, it kind of is, it is what it is. So, I have to say, I am so impressed with almost every MSP on how fast they moved. And they did it without care for themselves or what the future was going to look like. It was more about, how do I go out there? These people have, trusted me, to be their IT staff, right? And so it's amazing to see them do it. And that's kind of what we did, is we really moved to more of a simple model. So if you look at the things that we've developed and actually, pushed out into GA is, our direct to cloud, because we're starting to see more and more that, the old way of doing things with, appliances and scoping things out, we just, we look to see how we make it simple and how we are easy to do business with. So we're going to give you a bunch of options. We're going to guide you on it. But ultimately, we want to make sure that, we're the least thing that you have to worry about, especially when you talk about data. And I know that, JP, that's some things that you guys have really been focused on in the past few years, as I've gotten to know Scout, is certainly that.
Perfect. No, that's great, Charlie. And as we wrap up, you look, it's all about community, all about helping each other, staying positive. For us, these are great little breaks in the day, and to get to talk to great people like you, Charlie, it's just a pleasure. And I hope anyone that's on the line enjoyed it too. I know you've worked with some people on the line, Charlie. I'm not sure if anyone has any questions. You can jump in. Cormac, you know Charlie quite well.
Yeah, Charlie, we've obviously worked together in a previous life. I think I'd like to know, I suppose, your new journey with Axion, what you and the team are really, I suppose, focusing on helping partners going into 2021 after, I suppose, the crazy year we've just had. What's top of mind?
Yeah, I think it's definitely that, pushing that, direct to cloud, making sure that we, that we're really there and do something that I think everybody, didn't really worry about last year, which is everybody was kind of worried about just, getting in front of it, helping. But I think 2021 has got to be the year for growth for all of us, right? Certainly for MSP partners. And we want to make sure that we're there to help them on that journey. And, we know what's important to them, right? It's either saving money or making money. So making sure that we're able to do that and ultimately make sure that they have the right solution, which doesn't always have to include us. We'll tell you exactly what we do and the benefit that we provide. But, certainly, partnering with, I've been in security business for 20 years. So certainly partnering with, people like yourself, JP, and figuring out, like, how do we help them with that, total coverage is important. And I think Cormac drank maybe one or two of those pints behind me, if anybody was wanted to know.
We're all always very interested to find out a little bit more about Cormac. There's a story behind everyone. So look, another day maybe we'll get to the weeds there. But anyone else want to jump in?
I just wanted to dial in on something that you said there, Charlie, talking about MSPs really holding everything together when COVID happened, work from home. And I think a lot of people don't realize, maybe outside of our industry, the scale of like what really happened. Like basically, I mean, it's my opinion and is shared with some other people that our economy could have pretty much collapsed much, much, much worse, the global economy, than the fallout that it had from COVID, had not MSPs all over the world taken entire businesses remote in like an hour's notice. I mean, they really just like saved the economy, really. I mean,
Oh,
that's how I see it, at least.
No, you're 100% right, and I know, stories from here locally. There's a pizza place that is about 20 minutes from here, and it's been on Barstool Sports. It's highly rated. They never took online orders, so they wouldn't even you couldn't, if you called them, couldn't even get on the phone. And without their MSP, because I was talking to the guy and I said, "Wow, it's amazing! All of a sudden now I could order in advance because you have to, right?" And he's like, yeah, without our outsourced IT, we couldn't have done it. Like they changed their business overnight, and this is a business been around for 60 years. Yeah. So without that, and I think they probably are selling more, because normally like you'd go there, you can't get a table, so you get back in the car and you go home. So now they're ordering tons of pizza. So it's just interesting at that level what it looks like. But you're 100% right.
That's it. And these trends aren't changing. Jimmy, is there something today? Is this too early to mention?
No. Today Scout turned 7 years old, believe it or not. We're a whole as old as a dog in a year, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, we're having a little birthday party and releasing our first annual Cyber as a Service report for MSPs in just under an hour here at 11. So my morning's been live streaming webinar next. So if you're watching, feel free to join us. And if you're on the line, definitely welcome to join us as well. Very excited for that, JP.
That's great. Where do you get the link to that, Jimmy? Is it on the website or something?
Yeah, if you just click on our Facebook page, if you're watching on Facebook, or go to our website, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're here live in the chat, Jared just posted the link to sign up to.
Cool. Charlie, thank you again. I really look forward to speaking to you soon. But for popping on here, I know it's sort of unscripted and it's sort of a loose format, but that's the way it's meant to be. Just to wish everyone a good weekend.
The invite. Definitely good catching up, and hopefully we could all see each other soon in person.
Please God.
Yeah.